Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of the 2023 season of the Rival Recap Show, where we talk Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time, and I am just in a weird fucking mood with this fantasy football season so far. I'll get into it when I talk about my team, but before we get into that, let's start with the long 20. We'll start with the long 20. If I'm not mistaken, Ian Jones, back-to-back winner of the long 20. Last week it was McCaffrey. This year it was George Pickens, 71-yard touchdown. I don't know what's the protocol on the long 20 payments, but I think the winner should just request, because honestly, the person who scores the least points probably doesn't even tune into the Rival Recap Show that often. So Ian, you got 20 from Lynch last week, 20 from Christian Borelli this week, and you're already 40 in the bag of the long 20, guys. I mean, that's a fifth of the entry fee. Ian's already won back in 2 weeks between McCaffrey and Pickens, so good on him. All right, stat request. John Rast, after reading a tweet from the Messiah, Dove Kleeman, our God, our GOAT, Mr. Dove, there was a stat that I think it was 67% of teams that have started 2-0 have made the playoffs, and I believe there was some other percentage for 1-1 teams. Didn't look at 1-1 teams. And the other stat was that in 5 of the last NFL seasons, or 7 out of the last 10 NFL seasons, an 0-2 team has made the playoffs, including the Bengals last season. So, guys, if you want to compare that to our fantasy league, even though he's talking real football, and the only real differences, very minor, are the fact that they play a longer season and that theirs is real. Whatever. Anyway, so how the Gentlemen's Club fare? How does the Gentlemen's Club fare? So, if you have started 2-0 in the Gentlemen's Club history, you have made the playoffs 24 out of 27 times. That is about 89% of the time 2-0 teams have made the playoffs. There has been 3 instances over the years where that has not happened. 2020, Kevin Lamb did not make the playoffs. Is that... Oh, no, he didn't win in 2020. Okay. 2020, Kevin Lamb did not make the playoffs after starting 2-0. And then in 2018, it happened to 2 members, Matt Lynch and Christian Borelli. And if I'm not mistaken, 2018, Matt Lynch was the year, I believe that was the only team that did not make the playoffs with 7 wins. So while he was 2-0, didn't make the playoffs, he still had put together a bang average season. Other side of it, so 89% of the time, 2-0 teams have made the playoffs. Other side of it, 0-2 teams. There have been 5, and honestly, this falls pretty in line with Dove's tweet, because 5 out of our 7 years, there has been an 0-2 team make the playoffs. 2016, none. 2017, Nick Pavick. Guys, Nick Pavick's getting a shout-out on the program. Joe Narduli in 2018 started 0-2. John Rast started 0-2, and I believe in his inaugural season. Tony Marullo in 2020 started 0-2, and Christian Borelli in 2021 started 0-2, and all 5 of those guys made the playoffs in their respective years, guys. That is 5 out of 27. Oddly enough, there have been 27 0-2 teams. There have been 27 2-0 teams. Kind of makes sense in a way, but 18.5% of the time, the 0-2 team was able to pull it together and make the playoffs. So thank you, John, for the great stat request. Really appreciate it. Keep them coming. This one wasn't too hard. As I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, have I ever started 2-0 before this season? Because I was like, I could easily be an outlier in here. But no, there was one other season where I started 2-0. It would have been interesting to look at if there was anyone in this league who has never started 2-0. But I don't remember exactly, but as I was looking through it, it seemed like the guys who you would expect to not, a.k.a. maybe the Lynch, maybe the Lamb, maybe the Marullo, some of the lower horror guys, I remember seeing 2-0 for pretty much everyone. So that's not worth looking back into. But guys, we got to get into the matchups. And where do we start with? We start with my matchup and my fucking team, boys. Oh my God. Nick Chubb, gone. J.K. Dobbins, gone. Isaiah Pacheco, next man up, did not practice today. Oh gosh. Honestly, thank God I got Kyron Williams. Obviously, Puka would have been fucking phenomenal, because that guy's outlook looks insane, but I would have just had no running backs. I guess I would have had to make a trade, which, is always possible. But, so I'll have Pacheco and Kyron Williams. But we're not talking about next. We're talking about this past week. CeeDee Lamb, 25 points. Kyron Williams, 28 points. I put Kyron Williams in my starting lineup at 4 p.m. The game kicked off at 4:05. Felt pretty good about that one. I got to say, Spencer has a nice team, but you know what really, I think, really killed Spencer? And this is going to sound insane. Not killed, but DeAndre Swift had 2 rushes down to the 6-inch line in that Thursday night game last week. If he converts either of those into touchdowns, Spencer wins this matchup. I had a feeling it was going to come within 6 points just because of that as I was watching it last Thursday night. I'm fortunate to be on the winning end of it, but DeAndre Swift also looked fucking amazing. So that was really great to start out with a 27 bomb in my face, but the rest of the Spencer team didn't really live up to it. Garrett Wilson had the one long touchdown, one other catch. That's unfortunate what happened there. Firemouth, he Sklar sent him to the moon. That guy couldn't get it done. 112 for me. 2-0, but it feels like I lost, boys. It feels like things are getting real mediocre in the Steens. We move on to the next one. The Lot Lizards versus Amon Amongst Boys. Oh, Charlie. What's good with your running backs? Madison, 9 points. And let's be honest, I would assume most of us watched that game because it was the Thursday night. He just looked kind of bad at football. So that's not promising. Breece Hall, 0.9 points. Cowboys just loaded the box and just kind of fucked up the Jets. So that sucks, even though I would hope the outlook on the Jets is they're probably going to be more of a run-first team, but who knows? Cowboys, bad sample size. They are just a good fucking team, and they housed the Jets. Not a lot more to talk about on Charlie's team other than Christian Kirk, 21.96, which means he must have thrown a fucking pass in that game. Ian, other side, he's got his Christian McCaffrey. TJ Hawkinson had a great game. I probably should be shot for picking Kittle over Hawkinson, but we'll never bring that up again. George Pickens, 22.7, as I mentioned earlier, the winner of the long 20. So Ian, some very nice stuff. I know Anthony Richardson got concussed, but he had 17 points in about a quarter and a half. So that was really fucking awesome. If that guy can come back and not be concussed. Ian's got a strong team, man. In a time when people's running backs are dropping left and fucking right, Ian's not looking so crazy for drafting 3 top running backs, even though Etienne didn't really do much, and honestly, Josh Jacobs had -2 rushing yards, so I don't know if top running backs is a good way to put it, but health is going to be very key this year because it just seems like guys are dropping left and right. Next one we got, also it was rivalry week, guys. It was fucking rivalry week. I didn't even bring it up. Mets Bowl, the fucking Mets Bowl. We'll start with that. I'm sorry, I'm going back. I improved my record against Spencer to 3-5. The second one, the Charlie's Out to Get Me Bowl, Charlie versus Jones. Ian takes the 5-4 lead over Charlie. Those guys have played 9 times because they both played each other twice in 2016. Now we get into Christian and Johnny. I don't think this one has a name either, but it's always a classic matchup. This was a championship matchup a long time ago. Johnny takes it 100-78, pretty low scoring, pretty ugly. Jefferson, back-to-back weeks puts out, he's over 300 yards receiving on the season. There's really no question as to why he was the number 1 pick. He's carrying it on his team. He had a quarter of his points, and everyone else looked pretty fucking average on Johnny's team. Other side, Christian. Mahomes was the only one. Mark Andrews had a pretty good game, and then it's just 0.2 from Dalvin Cook. Same thing as Breece Hall, like I spoke about last matchup. Jamal Williams, 2.9, left that game, probably not playing. Christian's been getting killed with injuries, absolutely killed. Deontay Johnson, it says he's now on IR. That fucking sucks. Eckler, I don't know. I have no idea what his outlook is for next week. Hopefully he's playing. I saw potentially is, but then I also saw something conflicting in the news. So Brandon Cooks, Christian, it's ugly, man, and there's nothing you can do. I saw you made a trade, so you're trying to do things actually. So that's good. I think James Conner was a good add. Mark Andrews, goodbye. But you have Hunter Henry and you acquired Hayden Hurst. So one of those HHs can step in as your tight end. And just so Christian leads this series 5-4. So Johnny was able to pull it back a little bit. Next one, we got the Flannery O'Connor Bowl. It's Mr. Rass versus Mr. Lynch, 128-101. Rass team continues firing back-to-back good weeks. Rass is loading up the roster, man. He's got, he trades away Connor, but, Mostert's coming off a huge game. Deebo Samuel had a nice game. Jamar Chase hasn't even showed out. He's had 8 points this week. I think he had like 3 last week. So Rass is still waiting on him, and he's putting up some of the highest numbers in the league without his number 1 pick showing out. And he's got Cooper Kupp chilling. He's got Jonathan Taylor chilling. I'm still not convinced either of those guys will be on the field week 5, but it's a long season, and Rass is 2-0. So, other side, Mr. Lynch, 101. 101 ain't too bad. Lamar put up a quality performance, 22.8. Henry, 18.5. Devontae. Lynch's star showed out, but the rest of Lynch's team is pretty fucking below average. I think I saw he dropped Juju today, so he's trying to make moves, trying to change things up. He'd love to have Christian Watson back. Maybe that guy can start doing something. But overall, uninspiring outside of the stars. And the Flannery O'Connor Ball, Mr. Rass takes the 3-2 lead historically. We got Weston, we got Lamb, the high-scoring matchup of the week, 154-133. Lamb having the, third most points, and taking a loss. That's tough to see from his point of view. He's 0-2, but he definitely has a pretty nice team when you have guys like Keenan Allen and Tyler Lockett just proven year in and year out that you shouldn't pass on these guys, and I definitely passed on both of them. They're just consistently good every freaking year, except maybe Keenan last year, upset Kevin a little bit, but we move away from that to the other side to Weston 154. Saquon Barkley 27 points, but he's hurt. It doesn't seem like it's that bad. If I would be shocked if he plays tomorrow. Being that they have a Thursday night game, it's kind of unfortunate for him, but it also gives him a little extra time to rest, so he wouldn't be pushing for the Sunday game, and he can come back hopefully strong next week. So it's only 1 week, and Weston's 2-0 and has had two of the highest scores through 2 weeks. Herbert's great. Devontae Smith continues to show out. Mike Evans, another guy that's just being like, fuck you, all of you. Why did everyone pass on me? Baker's playing pretty well down there in Tampa, so he's got Mike Evans cooking. And yeah, I mean, Weston, I think I said it last week, Weston seems got one of the highest floors and probably the most well-rounded team thus far. And Lamb's got a nice team on the other side. All right, we got the Latin Mooks versus team. You've got the Bug. Oh, I call this the former GC Loser Bowl. I don't think they like them when I call that. Team, you've got the Bug 2-0, 125. Tony, 23 points out of Josh Allen. Tyreek Hill having a modest week at 15. Steelers D winning it for him on Monday night, 26 points. I believe he needed like 7. I think he needed 10. I think he needed 10, and they were projected 7. Yeah, I always know the NFL.com projections, guys, obviously. 26 fucking points, 2 defensive touchdowns. Tony can't ask for anything more there. Ortiz, other side. Brian Robinson and Jalen Hurts, the lone highlights of this team. Jerry Jeudy, blah. Kyle Pitts, blah. Zay Jones, who Ortiz was fucking talking up a storm to me this past weekend about how great fucking Zay Jones is and how I should trade for him. I mean, hey, you're not going to be like, oh, Zay Jones sucks, we should trade. I get that, but like, wow, to see this guy throw up a goose egg and now have a questionable designation when Ortiz could have started Hollywood Brown at his flex and won. So that sucks. Ortiz falls to 1-1. Pretty average team. I think I saw Montgomery's now hurt. I'm not even positive on Aaron Jones. So Ortiz, another guy that's getting hit with the injury bug. That sucks. And we're in the last one, guys. The I Hate Eric Bowl. Oh, guys, by the way, I fucked this up. I missed this. Weston has improved his lead over Lamb 5-2, and Tony has pulled it back 4-5 against Ortiz. Ortiz is up 5-4 still. Last one, the I Hate Eric Bowl. Joe versus Eric. This has been a championship twice, and Eric has won it twice. Both these guys are 1-1. Historically, probably our two best fantasy football players, at least regular season. Yeah, I mean, Joe's team, just everything happened. Everything hit. You know what I mean? Take out his kicker and his defense, his low score is 13.6 from everybody. That's phenomenal. Justin Fields didn't even do much, didn't really look very good. But Cook with almost 20 points, Bijan 21, T. Higgins 28.9 after throwing up a goose egg in week 1. Joe's got to be happy, man. And he's got Puka waiting. He's just got Puka fucking waiting. So expect Joe Narduli to text you. I mean, I imagine he's just going to slide him in for Addison for now. And then maybe Addison will start getting offered around. I don't know. But what is Drew even? I mean, yeah, you can always upgrade your team, but like, not seeing many holes in this Narduli roster. Other side, Eric, 111, just average 18, 15, 6, 10, 13, 12, 16, 9, 9. Like, no one really popped off. Everyone just kind of, floated the line. And it turns out to 111 points, which is fine, but ain't going to beat 148, guys. All right, that is all I have. The I Hate Eric Ball is 4-4. Joe has won 4 straight after Eric started 4-0 against him. So Narduli has been just creeping his way back in this matchup year after year. And before we send it over to Joe, I have 2 more things I want to say quickly. Something insane that I just thought was, it doesn't really mean anything, but the number 2 ranked player in every position except for defense. So Jordan Love is currently the QB 2. Kyron Williams is currently the running back 2. Puka is the wide receiver 2. Hunter Henry is the tight end 2. And Brett Maher is the kicker 2 who's available. But all of these guys were picked up last week. and they are all the number 2 at their respective positions. I fortunately have Jordan Love and Kyron Williams. Joe obviously has Puka. Hunter Henry, I think, got traded, or no, Christian has him, and then Mar is available. So I just thought that was pretty fucking wild that the number 2 player, because I noticed, I was like, oh, Jordan Love and Kyron Williams, number 2. Oh, I just picked those guys up. So I started looking into a little more. Puka's number 2, Hunter Henry. So doesn't mean anything. Probably useless stat of the week, but hey, pretty good. Last thing before we send it to Joe. I know the Rival Recap Show does not get the views. The losers don't always tune in, right? Losers don't always tune in. But if I have another 7 view week, when it's standalone, Rival Recap Show is going to turn bi-weekly, and I know that's going to hurt the Rasts, the Westons, maybe even the Ortizes, the guys who love this show, and we're definitely, a few of the 7, but I can't be bothered if half the fucking assholes aren't going to tune in. And with that, guys, I hope you have a beautiful fucking week. I hope everyone's team stays healthy, because I can't handle another fucking injury. And God bless you. We'll send it over to Mr. Joe Narduli at Safe Space.
Thank you, Brian. Gentlemen, welcome back to Safe Space. Got the juice after the week off last week. Some people are saying if there was no Safe Space this week, the Rival Recap Show would have been canceled based off viewership. But we're back. Week 2 is in the books. First in-season episode of Safe Space this season. And let's just get right to it. We had full participation from the league, which I love. And let's just start Safe Space. How do we start Safe Space every week? Best team, worst team. Best team with a resounding 7. I am 8. 8 out of 14 votes. Michael Weston. The Tokyo Knights, who I'm playing this week, who I was the only person that voted for as the best team after the draft. Eye for talent. Let's go to Weston's team, the Tokyo Knights. He's dealing with a Saquon Barkley injury right now. Thank God. It's just a normal ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain or anything worse. So he'll be back in a few weeks. Herbert is amazing. I wish I took him over fucking Justin Fields. Khalil Herbert, not that amazing. Didn't realize Weston has 2 Herberts. Rashad White had a good week last week. Mike Evans. I've always been the first to admit I was wrong. And on my pre-draft video, I said I didn't see what Mike Evans. He has been incredible this season. Contract year, Mike Evans. Ridley's been solid. Devontae Smith was a great pick. He doesn't have a tight end, but as I always say, if you don't have one position, you probably just don't want to have a tight end or a flex, because you can figure those out. Weston 2-0. We got a big matchup this week. I'm pretty lucky that Saquon's out. Plus, I don't have to root against Saquon now. We'll see how we do. Shall we get to worst team? Let's get to worst team with a resounding 8 votes. Christian Borelli, Yak United. One of the blandest team names in the league. I don't really understand why Christian's team name is Yak United. He's not even a soccer fan. Made a trade this week. He traded his 3rd round pick, Mark Andrews, for... That's a problem when I'm looking at your team and I'm not sure who you traded Mark Andrews for. James Conner and Hayden Hurst. A lot of meh coming back in that trade, in my opinion. A lot of meh on this team, in my opinion. I will give Christian the benefit of the doubt. His 1st round pick at Austin Eckler was out last week. Looks like he'll be out for a couple more weeks. Mahomes, no, he didn't have an injury, but Kelsey was injured, which obviously directly affects Mahomes. And then Mark Andrews missed the week. Deontay Johnson's been hurt. Jamal Williams just got hurt. Brandon Cooks has been hurt. So Christian has gotten the injury bug. But I'm not gonna just be on this program and say Christian's the worst team because his team's the most injured. Yes, that might be true. However, if Christian's team was healthy, I still don't love it. You think healthy Deontay Johnson's moving the needle for me? Sure, Eckler will be back. That would be great. But where's the punch in the wide receiver core of Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, and flex Treylon Burks? And then you're going to rotate Hunter Henry and Hayden Hurst at tight end. Where's the punch? He also picked up Kadarius Toney. Yikes. Kadarius Toney, I saw him on the injury report today, sprained toe. Literally, Christian, every single week he will be on the injury report. With the worst, most frustrating player to own in fantasy. Let's get to the segments. I'm filming this on Wednesday. I apologize for being late. It's been a busy week. Apartment move-in, dude. Fucking broke my shower last night. Glass door off the hinge. And man, some guy came at 5 o'clock, fixed it. He was here for like 2.5 hours. So I need a shower after this for like the first time in 2 days. Biggest surprise. We're 2 weeks in. There's some things that have surprised me. I haven't even prepared for this. So what has surprised me off the cuff? I don't know. I'll see what comes up as I read through your responses. Am I crazy? Or are there an insane amount of injuries this year? My team has been hit hard, but I feel like players are dropping like flies more broadly. There's a few on the injuries, so I'm going to keep reading. Amount of injuries shouldn't surprise me, but feels like it's been particularly bad this year. Running back injuries between Chubb, Eckler, and Saquon. A lot of top guys are dropping like flies. Crazy to see Brian Robinson on his way to a top 10 season. All right, I think if we're talking themes, the theme of this season so far has been the injuries. Do I think there are more injuries in general across the NFL over the first 2 weeks? I don't know. What I do know is there is a higher percentage of relevant fantasy players that are being injured. Let's go through the first round. Justin Jefferson went first overall in our draft, healthy. Number 2, Ian picked McCaffrey, healthy. Number 3, I believe that's where Christian was. He picked Eckler, already hurt. Number 4, wish I had the draft up for this. Number 4, Tony picked Tyreek Hill, healthy. Number 5, Eric picked Kelsey, already hurt. Number 6, Ortiz picked Kupp, already hurt. Number 7, Weston picked Barkley. Oh no. Rass picked Jamar Chase, not hurt, but he's being affected by a quarterback that's hurt. Number 8, Weston picked Barkley, already hurt. 9, Spencer picked Garrett Wilson, who's being affected by a quarterback that's hurt. 10, Bijan Robinson, knock on wood. 11 was Charlie picked Stephon Diggs, knock on wood. Then I think the last 3 picks of the first round were Tony Pollard healthy, Devontae Adams healthy, and R.I.P. Nick Chubb. So I don't know how many people I named that have been hurt already or like directly affected by injury, but it feels like 50% in first round, and that's fucking ridiculous because it's only week 2. Second note, Brian Robinson has been incredible this year, and I was thinking about this, like, someone could have probably predicted that the guy that got fucking shot mid-season or beginning of the season last year and didn't get a chance to like fully recover and still was decent would be pretty good when he actually had a full off season to recover. Like, I'm kind of mad at myself for not having some Brian Robinson stock earlier this year. And it did shit on Ortiz for that trade because I didn't love Robinson nor Hopkins, but if Robinson keeps it up, I think that trade will be worth it, especially if Kupp is wide receiver 2 to Puka. Puka is such a fun name to say. We should keep going because this is 4 minutes and I've read 1 submission. Despite having 17 combined points for my first and second round picks, I am 2-0. That is John Rast's biggest surprise. John Rast, dude, might be John Rast's year. He's been very aggressive managing his team, has made 2 trades now. Going all in. If his team is healthy, his team will be amazing, star-studded. But I have gone all in this league before, and when you don't have that depth and suffer an injury or two, you are fucked. So we have a long way to go. John Rast has tons of talent, but also tons of guys that have a history of being injured. We will see. We will see if John Rast can stay healthy. Most surprising is that Tony is 2-0. First time ever, question mark? Probably. And Rast is also good. I feel like the teams are typically good are swapped with those who typically suck this year. Let's see who's at the top and bottom of the standings. Top of the standings, Weston's usually competitive. John Rast usually sucks. Ian Jones either sucks or makes/wins the championship. Tony usually sucks. Marsh usually sucks. Ortiz usually sucks. Let's go to the bottom of the standings. Christian, usually good. Lynch, usually sucks. Charlie, usually competitive. Sklar, usually sucks. Lamb, every other year. Sucks are the best team in the league. Eric, usually competitive. Then me and Johnny are kind of in the middle, and I think Johnny and I are always competitive. Listen, we're only 2 weeks in. Plenty of time. Next thing, Mike Evans being a stud and the Bucks in general. I touched on this earlier, and I completely agree. Next surprise, Bijan Robinson. Kid is a dog. Should have picked him. I am ecstatic with my first round pick, Mr. Bijan Robinson so far. Knock on wood. Hopefully he keeps it rolling. His highlights are incredible. Biggest surprise, Joe picked up Nakua and after not having the top waiver wire priority. One thing we don't talk about enough is people in this league's waiver wire tendency. Now, Brian Marsh had the first waiver wire after week 1, picked up Kyron Williams, made sense after the Dobbins injury, and now it makes even more sense after the Chubb injury. Can't blame Brian there. Number 2, Kevin Lamb, along with Mike Weston, I would say are the 2 people in the league that are most likely to not use their waiver wire. They hate to use it. They love just being at the top of that order just in case. Worked out for Kevin this week with Jerome Ford. Although he didn't even want to take him. He wanted to fucking trade for him. Kevin Lamb just doesn't like using the waiver wire. I don't know, maybe he's busy on Tuesday nights. Number 3 was Matt Lynch. Honestly, Lynch was probably just a little asleep at the wheel there. Like, would that surprise anyone? And then Charlie, to his defense, needed a quarterback, used that claim on Purdy. So yeah, I definitely get Marsh and Charlie's claims with our people. Kevin and Lynch, I don't know, bro. Maybe Puka will suck now that I'm finally starting him, to be fair. The running back position might be more dead than dead. I mean, we talked about all the guys that have been hurt already, and then there's a bunch of mid-round guys that just suck. Just look at Charlie's team, Cam Akers, Alexander Madison, then Johnny's team, Mixon and Najee, just so much mid. The running back position's so dead. In 5 years, I bet people are starting with 1 running back in fantasy and just an extra receiver with 6 points passing touchdowns. Fuck you. Next surprise. Honestly, Christian being in last place feels like that never happens. And also how complacent Lamar is. Don't care that the Ravens are 2-0. I have not watched much Ravens ball this season, so can't really comment on that. Most surprising, how bad Charlie's team really is. Thought he had a good one out of the draft. Charlie's team was voted best team on this program's pre-season video. But I told you I didn't believe that was a good team. Shout out Daniel Jones, starting quarterback. Diggs and Saint Amon-Ra, solid. I just don't trust Kirk with Ridley there. Jawan Johnson, what are you doing? Not much. And then just he just has so many mid running backs. Alexander Madison, Kareem Hunt, Cam Akers, Brees Hall. Next one. The way Rass has managed to turn his team around over the course of the 2 weeks with trades. Yeah, Rass is like the Rams of 2021. All in, baby. Will it work out? Second one, Rash pushing all of his chips on the table. And last one, how much more I hate football than I thought I would this year. I thought that was a funny response. That's from Charlie. Let's just quickly recap how Charlie's season has gone so far. Started out before the NFL season even started, being on the wrong side of history with Coach Prime in Colorado. Shout out, go Buffs. Then we all know what happened to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and his hopes and dreams of this finally being a positive season going down the drain. And now his fantasy team sucks. So 9/20/2023, Charlie is in a bad space with football. All right, that was a long fucking segment. Well, let's just get to the next one. I was looking if I have a mirror near me. I don't. But you should look in the mirror and give yourself an honest assessment. Nice transition, Joe. I ranked these in the order of the standings. We'll go top to bottom. Weston, juggernaut. Barkley is fine. Yes, he is. Rats, my team is good, but it needs some good news, and the Bengals need to figure their shit out to become great. You need just injury luck rest. Ian Jones, my team is well balanced with different guys firing off each week to carry the other guys. That honestly reminds me, Ian, of your championship team. If I remember, you didn't have like any super duper stars. You just had guys that would like consistently get 20 points each week. A little nervous about Josh Jacobs so far though. I don't know. Tony, a well-rounded team. I'm a good RB away from being elite, and Tony has Alvin Kamara just waiting on his bench, I believe. So when after next week, Tony's team might be ready for takeoff. Marsh, mediocre. Thought I had a chance with Chubb, but now my assets are dwindling. Would love a trade, but I don't know if I have the juice. Yeah, honestly, super unlucky for Marsh. Loses his 2 running backs, including his first-round pick for the season after 2 weeks. That's fucking brutal. Especially running backs are like the hardest position to replace. I don't know. His best asset right now is CeeDee Lamb. Is CeeDee Lamb on the block, Marsh? Let us know. Ortiz. Think my team has playoff potential after 2 weeks. Nice duo of running backs, but need more production from my wide receivers to feel confident in making a deep run. Likely will need a little more juice in the lineup. I agree, James. I think you will likely need a little more juice. You had a very good week 1 though. I think you're 2-0. I think I am next. I would describe my team as fun. I don't know if I'm good or not. I had a bad week 1, good week 2. But fucking dude, watching Bijan is so fun. It reminds me of the year that I had rookie Saquon and like Mahomes on the first year that he started. Like, was that the best team I ever had? No, but it was so fucking fun just to watch my guys each week. And I feel that this year with Bijan and Olave and James Cook is fucking good. T. Higgins, that was a good week 2 bounce back. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just enjoy my team, and hopefully it's good. Johnny's very concerned about his Mixon Najee running back room. Heavily regret not taking Etienne over Harris. Could ruin my team. Trevor Lawrence also on the hot seat after 2 weeks. We'll see if Johnny gets in the trade market. Eric, the blow-up games have yet to come for my wide receivers and Kelsey, so gotta be patient. Stafford looks like he's 25. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I was playing Eric this week, and like DK Metcalf was close to scoring a touchdown like 4 different times and didn't. Got pretty lucky there, and Kelsey's not healthy yet, so Eric's team. Also, Eric has some good running backs on his bench that are going to do well in the second half of the season. Kevin Lamb, mediocre all around. Kevin Lamb's response is a safe space, mediocre all around. Spencer Sklar need to tighten things up and tie up some loose ends. 0-2, but like my outlook, long way to go. Let me say this about Spencer. After week 1, he puts Jalen Waddle on a block. Fucking nobody likes to insincerely put players on the block like Spencer Sklar. Remember when he put fucking Justin Jefferson on the block last year? I knew no fucking shot he was trading Waddle last week. He just likes the fucking attention. He likes getting some texts. Fucking Spencer. Bullshit you're going to trade Waddle after week 1. Please. 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 Charlie. This team still looks good on paper, but I'm very nervous. Whole team will be on the block if I lose to Lynch. All right. Charlie loses this week. Whole team on the block. I think the key of Charlie's season is how soon will the Jets let Brees cook. No pun intended with Dalvin Cook, but that was pretty clever by me. Lynch. Whole team needs to be better. Belichick voice. Matt Lynch when's the last time he's been competitive in this league? Christian Borelli rounds us out. Decimated by injuries, clearly the worst team as it stands today. I believe Christian submitted this before he made the Mark Andrews trade. So he's trying. He's trying. All right, let's wrap up the show, fellas, with some safe space submissions. This is just one of those episodes that I don't know if it's good or if it sucks. I do like compliments when you all tell me it's good, though. Lamb. Since you don't like Javonte, I will take him. Take a wild guess where that came from. Joe, I feel like this game is always an indicator of the 1A and 1B teams in our league. Not great that I'll be without my first pick, but adversity has never stopped the Tokyo Knights before. What a lovely message, Michael. I do respect, you're one of the few that I respect in this league. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. Like I said, pretty lucky Saquon's not playing, but he's still got a good team. See, Michael sends a nice message to me. I say nice things back. Maybe most of you could fucking learn from that. Legitimately had a dream that CMC snapped his leg this coming week. Could be nothing. Ian Jones, I asked him, do you want Eli Mitchell, dude? Said no interest. No interest. I will be posting that screenshot if Christian McCaffrey breaks his leg. Best of luck to my decaffeinated friend Tony in our matchup this week. This is just classic John Rass submission. No context. Why is Tony decaffeinated? Maybe it was something, an inside joke from the draft, and I'm just fucking out to lunch on it. I don't get it. I didn't laugh. I don't know if anyone else is laughing right now. Just want to say my condolences to Jets fans. Hopefully Rodgers gets that deer antler spray. I legitimately felt bad for Jets fans on like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. But, oh my God, they're just so unbearable. I watched the games with Johnny and Spencer this week. Every time a Cowboy touched the ball, Johnny screamed, blow his fucking head off. They were down 38-10, and they're talking to me like if Sauce Gardner didn't drop a pick six, the game will be tied. 38-10. And they're so insecure, too. Oh. Tell Charlie only one of us can be 0-3, and it really should be both of us. That's just good writing. Great submission. I'm looking forward to watching some of the 0-2 teams squirm this week. Christian, only trade so far. Ortiz, you smell like butter. Next submission, playing Brian next week. Brian Marsh, that is, for those of you that don't know his first name. Not much to say about him other than I try really hard to trade with him. Maybe we can get it done after our battle this week. I would fucking pay to see trade talk texts between Ortiz and Marsh, two of the people that, from my experience, are impossible to trade with. That is two fucking hard rocks, just rams butting into each other. Joe, yes? Can you tell us your favorite Ian Jones memory? My favorite Ian Jones memory. Let me think of one off the top of my head. How about this? First night of study abroad in Newcastle. Many of you were there. Believe we went to Purdue to get some drinks. First night out. Celebrate being abroad. Tony didn't get in because he was wearing shorts. A bunch of us are just ordering shots to celebrate it. And I see Ian just being fucking awkward by himself in the back, like staring at us. And I say, hey buddy, what's your name? I'm Joe. Why don't you come get a shot with us? Got him a shot. And our friendship has been on such a great foundation since that time. So I was glad I was able to bring him in there. 2 more submissions left. Another Ian abroad story is when he asked the girl from Ireland how her family was affected by the potato famine. Some unfamiliar faces at the top of the leaderboard so far this season, and I love to see it. Let's keep proving the haters wrong, fellas. Hashtag an underdog story. Last submission. I'm sick of people walking back their comments in the group chat, hearing things like, didn't mean it that way, brother. Hope the best for you this week. Makes me sick. There's an underlying theme of this league that we're all friends, so there shouldn't be a need to apologize for harsh comments. That's what fantasy is all about. I agree with this statement. However, I feel like I am held to a different standard than everyone fucking else in this league because of this program, where some of you don't get when I'm embellishing things and when I'm not. So I'm just fucking attacked constantly. On a Friday night when I'm minding my own business, I see James Ortiz after fucking 3 White Claws and asking Brian Marsh to send pictures of him in the group chat, just coming after fucking me for no reason. So because of that, I have to apologize unnecessarily to people. I have to. A lot of fragile egos in this chat. And I apologize. When I do, I'm very insincere about it, just so we're clear. Gentlemen, that was the safe space. Might have sucked, might have been good. Hope you enjoyed it. Week 2 is in the books. Don't know when the next episode of Safe Space will be. We're really just fucking going rogue here. Have a great week. Have a great multiple weeks. Godspeed.